McCain,
Yes.
the oven chip company,
Yes.
that used to be seen as a very family-oriented company. They've just put out an advert that was going around on Twitter this morning. No. But it's an advert where a drag queen creates a very vivacious drag queen, creates a dish out of this smiley that looks like her, and she uses some meat to put, as she puts it, I think the word she uses is massive knockers on this.
That's nice.
Advertising a food that is for children using the word knockers, and then presenting this thing to the camera. What was interesting, going back to what you were saying about women's rights, is that all of the comments that I could see were all women saying, this is woman face, like blackface, and this is offensive to me. This is not femininity. This is something that I find really offensive. Drag queens are something that are inherently sexualized. They're a sexualized performance like burlesque. We've seen all throughout Pride these images of people who are doing sexual things and being sexualized around children at Pride events. And now to have a drag queen, and as if that somehow represents the gay community or but to have a very sexualized drag queen presenting and advertising a children's food, I think there were a lot of people who were very annoyed about it. And I think the reason why McCain are planks is because I think they've really misunderstood their client base.
They're sort of desperately trying to virtue signal, but finding it all very confusing.
Yes, I mean, drag queens are not really suitable children's entertainers,
but it's constant, isn't it? This strange sort of bringing together of drag queens and children. Why?
Yeah.
Why drag queens?
Have you seen the BBC lately? Nearly all the presenters are now drag queens. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't really watch the BBC.
There's just something very disturbing about it, because even you wouldn't have ever thought that behaving in a sexualized way around children is appropriate. But for some reason, some people seem to think that it's okay if it's a drag queen doing it, like they're just some kind of benign clown rather than a kind of burlesque act.
Yeah, I've got no objection to drag queens, but don't put them forward as the sort of very...
They're not really children's entertainers.
They're being put forward as the embodiment of inclusivity. Yeah. Well, they're not really.
And they're desperate to tell you there's nothing wrong with it. It's been completely normal. Well, you know, you can say that if you want.
I don't care, but there are instances where they're not appropriate. An advert for kids, maybe not.
It's for adults. It should just be kept away from children. And I think that there is a good point to be made, which is that drag queens have this kind of... They play on this kind of like caricature of femininity.
Yes.
And for many people, that is very offensive.
Taking the mickey out of women.
And I think the issue is just simply that this isn't something that ever gets discussed. No. It's never recognised. But regardless, it's just not appropriate.
You're not allowed to talk about it.